That was weak. It looked weak on my end, so I tried to do it twice. The little split transition on my end, it looked laggy. So I was like, you know what, Streamlabs? Let's do it again. And it was like, nah, we're just gonna be laggy in this house. What's up, guys? What day is it? Thursday. Happy Thursday, August 26th, 2021. We are so close to the weekend. And one of our final weekends without regular season football. But man, we are in the dog days of baseball. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Last night, it got weird, mama. But it was at least a night where pitching showed up and showed out. I hope you guys crushed it last night. A lot of the pitchers in the mix for me put up some really monster games. Robbie Ray, Brandon Woodruff, Blake Snell got there. I did have him in my tier 3. Didn't have a ton. I think I ended up with like 6-7%. He did well. Walker Buehler did well. I don't know if you guys watched any of that Padres and Dodgers game, but man, that was fun. I'm already up all night anyway. But that was a fun game to watch, a fun game to sweat, and just a lot of fun. Every time the Padres and the Dodgers play, man, they bring it. It's very entertaining stuff. What's up, chat? How'd you guys do last night? You do all right? We also got the daily poll. I think we should do daily polls. Max Scherzer versus Chris Sale. I'm curious to see what you guys think is the better tournament play. Not just the better play, but the better tournament play. Whether you put some game theory behind that, some stank on it, who just straight up has a better ceiling. Think about, ownerships. Do you think there's a spot to leverage? Also, can we talk about a game that wasn't on the slate, but sometimes these second half doubleheaders do make the DraftKings slate? When I say I would have lost so much money on Herman Marquez in this game, 23 runs in a 7-inning game of the second leg of the doubleheader for the Cubs and Rockies. Herman Marquez finished with minus 145. I would have been dang near all in on this dude, and he gets smacked. And not only that, but like both sides of this game just go bananas. So, hey, won't he do it? Game gets postponed the night before, and then last night just not even on the slate. So I am so thankful that was not on the main slate, because that absolutely would have trolled me to no end, to no avail. And I'm sure some of you guys might have been on the struggle bus from that. Not even if you just like didn't like Marquez. 23 runs out of that game. Game 2 of a doubleheader with the worst road team and possibly the worst real team going. Jeez, it got weird. So, man, baseball's baseball, right? Baseball's baseball, man. How we doing, chat? Happy Thursday. I'm sure some of you guys. I can hear my voice. What the freak? Even if you. Okay, we're done. Sorry, chat. Sean in the chat. Josh Jennings. I didn't play yesterday. Ran out of time. I was mad busy. How'd you guys do? We did all right. We did good. I will say I was a little bit on the lucky side, if we're being honest. I had an elevated amount of Red Sox and Twins, and that game really didn't become a game till the 9th inning, right? I did get my Polanco bomb in the game, but 9th inning and on is where it got really interesting. Went into extras, and I just started getting juice from guys that I had exposure to: Schwarber, Josh Donaldson, Kike Hernandez. Like, they started really filling out my game stack, so I appreciate that. Donaldson, keep an eye on him. He also flew one out to the track that looked like it was going to be gone. He hit a double, and then he hit that bomb. So his swing is really nice right now. But yeah, between that 9th inning Red Sox Twins stuff, and then my pitching pool just kind of getting there for me, it was a solid, profitable night. We did have the homie Celia. She binked the mini max. And now she's not even in the country. A weird life that she lives, but shout out to her if she's in the land. What up, dang lazy mofo? Hello, my love. I never realized how thin these were. Oh, sorry, I can hear you. What's up, Josh? Baseball is definitely the hardest. Yeah, baseball's hard in the day-by-day one lineup sense. But I do think once, and I used to always be like, yeah, there's nothing that comes close to baseball in terms of difficulty. But the difficulty's the variance, right? And then once you, accept the variance and use the variance against the variance and against the field, that's why you'll see a lot of the really sharpest cats. They don't really break down the games like we do, right? We're going game by game just because from a sports entertainment sense, that's just how I enjoy absorbing of sports. But most of the sharpest cats in DFS, they're not doing what we're doing. They're just like, okay, this is the ownership, this is the projection, leverage the field, boom, go. They're numb to the results, but they know long term if they stick to the plan in baseball, which basically is fade chalk and leverage it, you become super profitable. But on the low end, where you're just putting 1, 2, 3, 5 lineups day by day, there's so much variance that it is really tough. Because Shohei Ohtani, right, didn't have a good game yesterday. Ironically, the Orioles, who were on a 19-game losing streak, right, they brought it to him. So it is a game of high failure rates. So you kind of have to embrace it, and that's one of the things I put out in the Welcome to MLB DFS series we did. Kind of have to embrace the variance and understand that the variance is frustrating when you experience it, but at the same time, how many times have you cashed with a couple zeros in your lineup, right? How many times have you seen a pitcher with single digits or even negatives win a tournament? Like, the variance is stressful by itself, but in basketball, you're not cashing with zeros, right? You're not winning tournaments with zeros. So, there's a benefit to it. It's double-sided. So I found a way to appreciate it, and then just be numb to the results, laugh at the results if it doesn't go your way, and you move on. The next day is the next day. What's up, Tyler? Scherzer. Let's see. Scherzer, ride or die today. I'm with that. Rod J. What up, Rod? Nathan. Baseball's fun. When you win, you win, and when you lose, you lose. That's what it is. Not like NBA where it's just too random. Yeah, I realize what I said doesn't even make sense. Okay. I just hate the research. In football and basketball, I don't need much research. So I do think the research is I don't want to put a level of difficulty on it because the research can be expedited every day. Like you can go to Fangraphs and make custom daily stuff to look for, like I did with the spreadsheet, right? I don't have to do much. I can just literally look each game and do that. Like if you don't have a resource like that, yeah, it can be a little bit tougher. But for the most part, like I think a lot of like I said, a lot of sharps. They're looking at game totals. They're looking at, I guess, starting pitcher matchups. To if you are looking at anything, it would be that. And then you're just looking at ownerships and stuff like that. So, but those guys are running 100, 150 and single entry and whatnot. You can still expedite and cut it down a little bit to make your time more efficient. I think a lot of people that do play baseball DFS are suckers for punishment and actually kind of enjoy the research, because when you research the homers, it feels a little bit more rewarding. You're like, yeah, I called that. Yeah. I don't know. But it is a lot more labor intensive. But at the same time, it's not in a way, because I can do the research hours in advance and it holds up, right? You think about basketball. Research is cool, but that's all out the window the hour before it lock, as people start getting rested and scratched, and then you're just running around playing backups because they're getting minutes, right? We don't have that stress in baseball, right? I don't need to play Mike Trout's backup because it's not going to be a 1-to-1. So there's nuances that favor one side versus the other, but that's a whole different, like every sport has its pluses and minuses, right? Going to East Slate expecting something crazy is going to happen. The MLB random stuff. It does, right? The failure rate, 70%. So what can you do? What can you do? Man, oh man. Chat, man, I'm happy. I'm happy. By the way, chat, I just got a notice, not a notice, but a message. So usually I fill in on the weekends for the Osmo live before lock, but it looks like they're asking me to fill in tomorrow, Friday, which is 3 hours after the normal stream on this channel. So I don't know if it's worth doing double duty. I don't know. What do you guys think? to do a 3 p.m. Eastern stream here. Let me see what the time is. So basically what I'm saying is tomorrow there may not be a live stream on this channel because I have to do the Osmo show. Let's see, tomorrow at 5 Eastern, so that would be 4 Central, and I usually do 2 to 4 here. So we may not do a live stream tomorrow on this channel, but if you hang out on the Osmo channel, I'll be over there. So kind of look out for that. Maybe I'll do one, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted in the community updates. It just doesn't seem like it's super efficient. I don't say efficient, but like I don't know. Do I need to do 2? You know, I don't know. 1% owned Clint Frazier hit 2 bombs. Former Yankee great. Who was low owned the 2 nights ago? Hunter Renfroe was really low owned, and I'm not saying like I thought he should have been chalk. But like his power numbers were pretty high for me. He was actually that night at the top of the bomb detector. So I was like, wait, is the camera like moving here? It is. You're getting a peek into the kitchen. There we go. So the Jesus, bro. I'm telling you, this webcam is janky. There we go. Let's see if we can keep like that. Yeah. What was I doing? Oh yeah, the other night, like Hunter Renfroe. God dang it! Why does it keep moving?
I think I was gonna tell you.
It keeps.
I noticed it. It's,
I don't know. What is that?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But yeah, that night, Hunter Renfroe projected really well. It won't stay still. You can get some tape or something. Backstage. What's up, Raj? Get me on this pod. I got the plays. Could you guys imagine if I put Raj on a baseball pod? Oh my God, he would get cussed out.
Is that what you want?
As long as it's facing me, I don't care. What up, Mo Green? You call that Renfroe everyone play? But that's the thing. Like, I didn't think I'm not saying Renfroe should have been like 30% owned. Just saying I was a little stunned that he was at 2% owned. Is it staying still? What did you do?
Yeah, it's staying still. But I don't know. Is that where you want it? I got it.
Yeah, sure. It's moving again. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, chat. It looks like it's fine now, though. Anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. I guess we'll start diving into some games here, chat, if you guys are ready. PrizePicks. By the way, did you guys see the new PrizePicks layout? I knew about the change that was coming because they let the partners know. But it looks pretty slick, man. They kind of modernized their logo. So if you guys haven't checked it out and you're like, you know what? I don't think they're looking slick enough for me, Gun. I'm not going to register. Well, guess the F what, bro? Now you have to. It looks clean. Clean as a whistle. So go sign up for PrizePicks. And when you do that, use code GUNDACKER. And they're going to show me some love. And then you guys can peruse the lobby and get up to $100 matched instant deposit bonus. So you sign up and say, all right, this is sexy enough for me to throw $20 at it. And they're going to be like, all right, bro. Bam, $40. It's a lot of fun. Looking at a couple of the strikeout props so far. Scherzer's at 7.5. Chris Sale's at 7. So the question of the day is, who's a better tournament play? You Darvish at 6. And that's kind of, I guess, Tyone being 5.5. That's intriguing. So as we go game by game here, if you guys had some numbers that stick out here, we'll revisit them as we go. And even on the hitter projection side, we'll revisit as we go, and then maybe we'll make a couple of picks. But yeah, shout out to PrizePicks, man, cleaning it up just in time for football. Let's do this. Let's open up that RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet, and we're good. Absolutely not. Raj is my guy, but not for baseball. Yeah, that would just be weird. Your content is a beast when it comes to sportsbook, man. I appreciate that. I personally don't get to play sports books because of being in Texas, but PrizePicks is kind of like the substitute for me, right? If I can bet Prize K-prop stuff like that on PrizePicks and kind of replace the sports book, but it's not the same, but it's also like got added value because I can bet fantasy projections and really just stuff that I'm already researching. Anyway, let's jump into it, man. We waste enough time. Cardinals at the Pirates. Game 1 of tonight's main slate. Pirates lineup has been released. It is confirmed. Ben Gamel, Michael Chavis, who we've seen him lead off. And now he's batting second. Brian Reynolds, Colin Moran, Wilmer Defoe making the lineup today. Gregory Polanco in the 6 hole. Kevin Newman and Michael Perez. Kevin Newman. Need to know now. No lineup for the Cardinals yet. Miles Michaelis taking on Mitch Keller. Michaelis is $7,100. Mitch Keller 62. We got an implied run total 4.8 for the Cards, 3.8 on the Pirates. Michaelis at 7,100 is at least intriguing to me because the Pirates are pretty weak enough to kind of muscle through a game and get you 6 innings. Maybe you get just under a strikeout per inning at his 21% K rate, 7.7% swing and strike rate. But he's not a guy that I think gets beat up, but I do think he's like a good, a serviceable pitcher. Good is probably, I'd say good. 3.54 is his expected ERA so far. It's only 9 innings of sample size, so I wouldn't over trust that number. But 4.5, we've seen Michaelis be perfectly serviceable. So if I pull up the St. Louis card, there it is. I would be wanting to get probably 16 to 20 as his outcome here. 18 in 84 pitches against this Pittsburgh team last time. 8 strikeout per inning. The ground ball to fly ball rate is the wrong side of the seesaw, but I still think this team is weak enough that Michaelis is going to make the back end of my pitching player pool. I'm not really going on my way to play any Pirates bats here. If I leaned a little bit more towards Michaelis' 2019 numbers, he does allow an elevated average to left-handed hitters. So if you wanted to penny pinch here, maybe a Ben Gamel leadoff spot, 5-6 implied at bats, and maybe he puts some points up on a low number there. Brian Reynolds, a little bit more expensive, so I'm really kind of like not there, but he is their best hit for average guy in this matchup with an 865 OPS. So I'm not going to spend too much time dreaming about what Pirates to play. Just a 3.8 implied run total. We're really just expecting a mediocre game here, but I do think 7,100 on Michaelis is enough for me to diversify the back end of 100, 150 lineups. Mitch Keller, really strong strikeout numbers to righties, right? 26% K rate to righties this season. Last season, 27%. The swing and strike rate really doesn't back that up, but it seems like a product of extreme splits here, right? He is not striking out lefties at all, but against righties, he's holding his own. So this is a Cardinals lineup that usually comes out super righty heavy. Could you get away with murder and play Mitch Keller? I don't want to, but like I guess at 6,200, I could understand it. Last game out against St. Louis, 23 DKP, about one of his best performances on the season outside of the Rockies here. So if they come out righty heavy again, meaning if they only have two lefties, two switch hitters, I could see Mitch Keller at 6,200 getting you a serviceable SP2 number here, 1820. It's kind of what we're looking for, and steal it at 6,200. There are some decent strikeout rates in this Cardinals lineup, and against righties this season, a 44% ground ball rate. Hard contact rate's probably a little more than what you would like it. The walk rate's on the verge of uncomfortable, but it's fine. But I don't hate the price point on him as an SP2 in maybe a lineup that I'm trying to pay up for an SP1 and still have some fat bats in the mix. So maybe somebody we also put in the back pocket. I don't think I'd get to him in 20, maybe not even in 50, but definitely in 100, 150 when I'm diversifying. I could see both pitchers making my player pool today. Mitch Keller's struggle is average allowed to lefties. Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson, I don't know that you see like maybe a Lars Nootbaar gets in there. Maybe you get a third lefty. If you get a third lefty, it does shake things up a little bit. And I see Tyler O'Neill has a Q tag on him, so maybe that would shake it up enough for me to not be super excited. But I do think this Park and his righty platoon splits could service him as a mass entry type of play at no more than like 6-7%, you know. So that's where I'm at here. I'm not stacking either team. I could have some exposure to both pitchers. Chat, be sure to chime in if you've done a little bit of research and have some plays on the game that we are talking about. Next game on the docket, D-backs at the Phillies. Zach Gallen, Fernac is taking on Zach Eflin. D-backs lineup is confirmed. Josh Rojas, Ketel Marte, Pavin Smith is paving the way for three-hole hitters everywhere. Carson Kelly, he homered late last night, but he homered. Christian Walker is in the 6th spot. Josh Van Meter in the 7th spot. And Nick Ahmed. So no Dalton Varsho, who has had a pretty good week of action. Gallen versus Eflin. Gallen on the road this year, a 4.47 xFIP, but the results have been pretty beneficial. 24% overall K rate, 222 average allowed, and a 105 home run per 9, hard contact under 30%. He does have the ability to get strikeouts in the right spot. You'd like to see a higher swing and strike rate than what he has so far, but it's not drastically off the mark. It's gone from a 12% guy to a 9.6% guy. Maybe that's sticky stuff related, but his expected ERA on the season is 3.86. So this is going to be a spot where I do respect the Phillies enough in this park that I don't want to get too crazy and load up on Gallen, but you can see that he has enough individual skill and talent to maybe pay off this price point. So I do think we're getting a couple of 7K options that kind of fit the bill here. A couple of 20 pluses in his last 10, and I think 20 plus is what we're looking for from a tournament standpoint, right? You usually want double 20s to make some noise in tournaments, and I don't think that's a crazy expectation. He's averaging just about 14 both home and away, but Phillies do have a couple lineups they could throw out. This lineup right here does have a lane of 20+% K rates, but nothing like egregious, right? Like the 21% K rate on Bryce Harper is coming with severe risk, the high ISO, the high OPS. So I would be kind of waiting to see what that final Phillies lineup looks like before I overcommitted to Gallen, but I could understand the case for Gallen in tournaments right now. The Phillies also have a case as a stack. Already with a 5 implied run total, pardon the train, the D-backs will back up Zach Gallen with one of the league's worst bullpens, so quality at-bats once Gallen's out of there, and there are a couple of big boppers in this Phillies lineup that I could justify. I think 6,400 from Bryce Harper, that is a really, really strong decision to make. I do think Zach Gallen has the ability to limit power to lefties, right? The sub 28% hard contact so far, the 50% ground ball rate. So 6,400 seems a little bit on the risky side when we're just considering the batted ball data from Harper versus Gallen, but Harper's a high class hitter, and this bullpen could allow Harper to pay it off. So I'm not anti it, but that is a tall glass of water to sip on. The rest of this lineup makes a lot of sense. I do think the Phillies just will straight up be one of the stacks I get to. Right now I'm thinking about 6% as the obscure starting point. So 6% of 150 lineups dedicated to some concentrated Philly stacks, but it's more so just based on the park, based on the run total, and then based on the fact that I think the D-backs bullpen is really, really bad. So far this season, Zach Gallen, 221 home run per 9 to righties as well, and that could catch up with him. I am curious to see if that is something that is more prevalent on the road than at home. Chase Field can play pitcher friendly when they put the lid on it and the humidor takes effect. So let's go look at the splits for Zach Gallen. I want to look at home versus righty, away versus righty, and it looks like it's been pretty split. Like it's still over 2 on the road, 2.45 at home. Hasn't allowed a road bomb to a lefty. So over 2 home run per 9 to righties is something to maybe focus on. JT Realmuto might get into one, and Andrew McCutchen actually has a sneaky bomb rating in the bomb detector, 4.19. So yeah, you can sell me on some Phillies here. So I'm going to be teetering on the seesaw, having a little bit of both, but I'm probably going to have more Phillies than Gallen, but it's not like they're a priority, Let's see what you guys got in the live chat before we move on. What's up, Hugo? Gun, I didn't know you had this spot. Hey, welcome aboard. Chat, yesterday I did this campaign to get to 5,300 subscribers, and on the stream we were at 5,297, and then I was like, you know what, let me tweet it. Maybe a couple people that follow, because I think my number is like 80% of my viewers are subscribed, 20% aren't. I think it's a little bit more. And then I tweeted out, I started losing subscribers. So there are some haters out there, man. Like, what? I subbed to him. So we actually went down. And I woke up today and we were at 5,294. So we were like 6 away from the 5,300 nice round number. So if you're watching and you're not subscribing, you're not a hater, you want to air fist bump me, hit that sub button, and maybe we'll get to 5,300 plus today. I think my goal is going to be 6,000 by January 1st. I'm pretty confident that if I grind, I might actually blow that out the water, but we'll see. What's up, C-Wiz? Keller's really bad home road splits. That's interesting. Let me see. Keller at home, 511 xFIP, 346 average. Yeah, a lot of a really, really high average. Really high walk rate. The power isn't staggering, but I see what you're saying. 50 pitch limit for Eflin. Good chance Matt Moore follows. That's a good call out, Sean. Let's go look at the bullpen usage for the Phillies. Look at this, Chad. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these nuggets from you guys, and we driving the caddy here. So let's go Control F the Phillies, and we're using the bullpen usage tab in the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet. Is Matt Moore? Is he active or is he listed as a starter? I know he has come out the bullpen to get smacked. So Yeah, he's not an option. So yeah, I guess they maybe I'm pulling it from Fangraphs. Maybe they didn't list him as a bullpen piece. But yeah, Matt Moore could definitely come out. When's the last time Matt Moore made an appearance? If it's been 3 to 5 days, he's definitely a candidate. He pitched on the 20th. It's the 26th. Yeah, that's a good call out, Sean. I could see that. And then if Matt Moore came into the game, I don't know, Ketel Marte, maybe Carson Kelly for sure. Carson Kelly actually got one off of a lefty last night. If you guys watch these numbers on Carson Kelly right here, I'm going to do a quick change from righty to lefty. Carson Kelly's a whole different man. Like, a whole different man. Almost a 1. OPS. He crushes lefties. And then last night when I brought in that lefty, I forgot what his name was. I was like, you don't want to do that. You're not going to want to do that, Joe. But I appreciated it. What's up, Shalez? What's up, Jonathan Adams? Wood Gallon, give me the warm and fuzzies. You like that? You like that? Okay. Gallon can easily go 7, and Phillies are slumping. That total is garbage. You think 5? I don't think 5 is the garbage total, not considering the D-backs bullpen, right? You can get 2 off of Gallon and then bloop and a blast and another blast 2 off of the bullpen. It's very plausible. I'm not saying like it's suggestive that they go bananas, but you get Diamondbacks pitching in Citizens Bank Park. Like 5 seems fair. No Polanco today for Minnesota. Oh man, that's tough because he's usually my favorite twin to play. Let's move on to the next game here, chat. Nats at the Marlins. We have Eliezer Hernandez going for the Marlins here. Patrick Corbin going for the Nats. Marlins lineup is confirmed. Nats lineup is not. So let's get the Marlins punched in. Miguel Rojas, Jesus Aguilar is batting second. Lewis Brinson is batting third. Jesus Sanchez. There's a lot of Jesuses. Brian Anderson is batting fifth. Jorge Alfaro, Isan Diaz, and Brian De La Cruz is batting eighth. So that's our confirmed Marlins lineup. Patrick Corbin on the bump here. Corbin's been the tale of 2 platoons here. He is really, really strong against lefties, and against righties not so much. Feel like he's putting together some more consistent starts lately, some really serviceable starts. I don't know that I want to lean on him against the Miami Marlins, but I do think like you can make the case, right? 20 plus DKP, kind of the benchmark here at 8,200, coming off a 28 DKP game. I think I'm willing to sit this one out. He's averaging 17 and 2 starts against Miami. He gets a massive park boost as a pitcher, but he is not a fun, warm and fuzzy click, right? So I probably sit this one out, but at the same time, am I loading up on Marlins stacks? No. Miguel Rojas, Jesus Aguilar would probably be 2 names that kind of stand out to me. Aguilar is a guy that gets more homers on the road than at home, but I think Patrick Corbin, he's a guy that allows just a lot of everything to righties. So I don't hate the pushback here, but this is just one of those spots. I'm hoping Corbin has an average game to where he's not the nuts and he's not necessary. And then the Marlins are just a team that I'm hoping, maybe struggle bust their way to a couple runs here. But as long as it's not by the long ball, I'll be all right. So that's kind of how I'm going to play it. Do you guys feel differently? Is anybody in chat going to be lining up to play some Corbin or even stacking some Marlins? I get it. Hernandez pitching for the Marlins today. He came out of that his rehab starts with some really, really strong strikeout numbers in the minors. And so far in the majors, 17 innings of sample size. The expected ERA is at 3.41. The WHIP is under 1. Strikeout rate is 1-4. The swinging strike rate's really, really up there. So Hernandez does have the ability to be a problem, right? 7,600. Again, 20. I'm looking for 20s out of all my pitchers on a slate like this. Could he get it? At Cincinnati, I'm not going to fault him. Tough spot. Hosting the Cubs, he got to 82 pitches. 4 strikeouts, and then at Pittsburgh, 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. Just kind of muscling his way by. I do think I'm not going to overreact to some of the small sample size we have in terms of what happened in the Cincy game or just him trying to find his cut. But 7,600, if he's at 80 to 90 pitches, I mean, I get it, right? He can get some strikeouts. This projected Nats lineup, though, not to. not baked in with a lot of strikeout like propensity, I guess. I guess it's like half and half. A lot of 19% or lessers. Alcides Escobar, Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Luis Garcia all have 19% or less K rates. So they play a little bit more towards the contact hitter type of archetype. But then there are some strikeouts kind of around them. Robles, Yadiel Hernandez, Carter Kieboom, and then the pitcher spot. So I can kind of see both sides of that. I can see not being excited. I can see, all right, in 150 lineups, I'll get 5%. So that's just kind of the way that I'm looking at this game. So far, Hernandez has had a power bug to lefties, and that's something that we can elongate on and say that's in him. Last 3 seasons of sample size has allowed well over a 1 homer per 9. 2 lefties, Juan Soto, clearly the Nats' best player. Could he take advantage of that? Very possible. He is almost $1,000. It feels like cheaper than Bryce Harper, so maybe he's somebody to get behind. Josh Bell was not in the lineup yesterday, so look for him to maybe be in the lineup today. I think he's their best protection option behind Juan Soto. So yeah, I guess Soto would be the guy that stands out. His bomb rating is just under 4. 4 is kind of my magic number to be like, okay, this guy profiles really well, move on. But Juan Soto is Juan Soto, right? So that's kind of where I'm playing here, right? I'm just iffy on both pitchers, iffy on stacks, and we're hoping to fall in love with some other stuff coming forward. But in Matt Century, I can justify some stuff here. I will allow some one-offs to make it into the optimizer, right? Jesus Aguilar, I think, would be the name that stands out to me on the Marlins side, and then on the Nats side, you can give me Soto, you can give me a little Bell, and that's probably like where the fun stops. After that, it gets a little weird, right? What do you guys got, chat? I had a little Philly mini stack yesterday. They did me dirty. Now, hey, slot machine mentality. Baseball, man. You stack a team 3 days in a row, and you're like, all right, I'm done. I'm not putting any more quarters into this gosh dang Philly slot machine. You get up, you walk away, you look over, and there's old Edith. Oh, I'll play this machine. She puts a quarter in, and all of a sudden the Phillies drop 2 touchdowns. Don't let Edith take your money. What up, Rod? Rojas and maybe Jazz Chisholm were the plays. Both hit Corbin pretty well. So Jazz is not in the lineup. Yeah, it's just Rojas. Jazz is getting the day off. I don't know if he got hurt yesterday or what happened, but he's not in the confirmed lineup today at the moment so far. Let's move on to the next game. Twins at the Red Sox. John Gant pitching for the Twins. Red Sox will be throwing Chris Sale, Rob Refsnyder, former Yankee great leading off for the Twins. Brent Rooker, Josh Donaldson, Miguel Sano really delivered for the bomb detector yesterday. Shout out to him. Ryan this lineup is okay. Guys, my girlfriend's watching and she's a Twins fan, but this lineup is clench your teeth. Yeah, Jorge Polanco is kind of their glue, man. He's the guy that kind of keeps them in it, and him not making the lineup is definitely interesting, and it's interesting enough that the Twins have just a 3-point implied run total going against the pitching stylings of Chris Sale. So, this is a weird spot, because the Twins don't project for much power here. Jeffers, Miguel Sano, and Josh Donaldson are the big boppers, the 200-plus ISO guys against lefties since the beginning of last year. But they come with some strikeouts. 26.8% K rate for Donaldson against lefties, 34% on Sano, and 34% on Ryan. My name is Yaf Ers, and Chris Sale gives you the strikeout. So, the question of the day, you guys see the poll chat, who's a better tournament play, Chris Sale or Max Scherzer? I mean, I don't think it's a snap call, and I think Max Scherzer definitely has some propensity to get deep into this game, even if he's not getting strikeouts. Maybe some more efficient plate appearances or efficient at-bats where he gets some quick outs. Last 2 days, the Red Sox have had to really dip into the bullpen. Saw some extra innings yesterday, so maybe they asked Chris Sale to go a little bit deeper now. And at 10.2K, could we get 6 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, but could we get 7 innings? Probably not. 89 to 71 pitches his last 2 starts. Last start he had a hit per inning, so over a 1 whip. At least with Max, you're getting 110, so that would be the immediate pushback. Chris Sale, maybe you're being soft with him, but this is a Red Sox team that needs to win. They are slipping. They're falling behind the Athletics and the Yankees in that wild card race. So I don't know. I think at 10.2K, there's still some meat on the bone if Chris Sale does pop off for 80, 90 pitches here. And this Twins lineup is just kind of a spin the wheel, make a deal. There are some strikeouts here. There are some low K guys, some high contact guys. So I think right now, for me, I'm kind of looking at Max Scherzer over Chris Sale. Not to say I'm not going to have Chris Sale, but I also feel like maybe that's looking at the poll in the chat. Maybe that's like the chalky way. That's what the basic players are doing. So kind of something I'll be thinking about. I wish I knew Chris Sale had a longer leash, right? Max Scherzer, I know, could lose his mind, get all up in it, and be like, don't touch me, I'm throwing 110 pitches. Chris Sale might be 90 pitches and go home. So that's probably what's going to tilt the seesaw for me towards the Max Scherzer side, What up, Josh plays DFS. Sale may be good enough to avoid but the bullpen has been trash. 5 innings of Sale, still leaves 4 innings against the shaky pen. Has some Twins. So Josh Donaldson, like I said, has been hitting the ball well enough, right? If you look at his batted ball data the last week, and really if you just watch the games the last couple days, he's put some good swings on some pitches. And he's kind of cheap. 3K on Fanduel, 3,300 on DraftKings. Usually when a guy is matching on DraftKings, when he's matching the price on Fanduel, he's perhaps a potential value on DK. I think Donaldson does kind of fit that bill. So if you didn't love the Sale spot, but you knew, hey, there's still a chip in a chair for him to homer off Sale. Sale's allowed over a 2 home run per night so far against righties, and dating back to 2019, he has allowed power to righties. Maybe a guy like Donaldson could tap into that. Miguel Sano seems a little bit more privy to the strikeout than Donaldson, so it's a little bit more accepted risk, but I guess what you're saying is if you tap into the bullpen, all bets are off. So I wouldn't mind one of those 2 guys. The rest of this lineup is just not exciting. Jorge Polanco would have easily been the guy that I would have signed off on as a good one-off. But I get what you're saying. I'm getting more lineups, but no Red Sox yet. Yep. Rob Ref Homer. You like that, Tyler? Maybe. Leadoff spot, bare bones min, jumps on a first pitch fastball, stuns Chris Sale. Maybe. I'm not going nuts with that one, but I could see it. Let's move on to the next game. Rangers at the Indians. Jordan Lyles versus Sam Hentges. Indians have a 5.3 implied run total. Rangers at 4.3. Neither lineup confirmed. I'll be honest, boys and girls, this is probably the spot where I'm not touching pitchers. I'd probably be on some team stacks here. Jordan Lyles, a pure contact pitcher, just an 18.5% K rate, 10% swinging strike rate. On the road, a lot of numbers go up. 4.79 xFIP, 273 average allowed, and a 2.26 home run per 9. You can give me Jose Ramirez, you can give me Franmil Reyes. I think Franmil Reyes stands out to me on FanDuel. I mean, put that in perspective. Jose Ramirez is 4,400 on FanDuel, 59 on DK. Reyes is 55 on DraftKings, but Reyes is 3,100 on FanDuel. He's a big guy with a lot of power, and when you can neutralize his extremely high strikeout rate, 30%, and put it against a 20% K rate like Jordan Lyles, there's definitely a lot of opportunity for him to tap into some power, and he has an over 4 rating in the bomb detector, 4.1. My bad. There's a giant penis out in the parking lot, revving his hog. So you can, and here comes the train. I don't think anyone has as much background noise per capita as me. My bad, chat. You guys are real ones for putting up with it. Maybe I can seal it with some, some noise reducers. But yeah, Fernando Reyes on FanDuel is definitely somebody I think I'm going to maybe up a projection on, because I do think the price is a little too soft to not take advantage of the contact matchup. Rangers side of things, yesterday I made note that this was one of the cheapest lineups I've ever seen in baseball history. And everyone got like a $200 uptick in price. This is definitely a team that I don't love. They do project a little bit better against lefties in terms of hit for average and low K rates. Sam Hankes is not like a big strikeout guy. He does allow a really high average to righties, some power. So maybe I steal some points with some of these Ranger bats. Andy, I took a pill in Ibanez, batting over 300 against lefties. Got a little bit of ISO. Adolis Garcia, he's definitely cooled off from that first half run. But if you can chop down that 34% K rate, and like we can with Henke here, maybe he can tap into some of that power. So there are some bats on this Rangers team I would allow to fall where they may in my scripts. I don't think I get to full sending Ranger stacks, but I think I could have some exposure to a couple of these crazy one-offs, right? Indian side, you can give me Straw, Rosario, Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes as a stack, and then maybe spin the wheel, make a deal on the bottom half. I got lucky with, I think I played Austin Hedges yesterday just as a pure punt. I think he gave me a bomb in some lineups. So Austin Hedges, if you believe in swings being right, yeah, you got that bomb for me yesterday. So a couple of one-offs that I would kind of put with the four-mans if I went 1 through 4 on the Indians. So I don't mind some Indian stacks. Not super excited, but I can get there. And then, yeah, another game that just kind of exists. I might have to come back later and start giving a couple of percentages to some of these games that don't feel great, but that might be the name of the slate, right? Sean says Lyle's just dominated the Red Sox over 7. Here we go, Sean. Lyle's just dominated the Red Sox over 7 innings in Fenway. Can't predict what he's going to do off the stats. Sometimes he just pulls these performances out. Let's put context to that sentence, right? I feel like in baseball, the results can really mislead people. So I haven't looked at the advanced analytics of Lyle's performance against the Red Sox, but let's go look at the advanced analytics of Lyle's against the Red Sox. So let's go game log. Let's go play discipline first and foremost. He had a 13% swing strike rate against the Red Sox, so that's kind of elevated for his sake. Red Sox were just swinging. Outside the zone swing, 33%. Let's go look at xFIP for this game. That's FIP standard. Where's xFIP at? Batted ball. There it is. He had a 4.76 xFIP in that game against Boston, a 4.81 Sierra, a 50% hard contact rate, 33% pull rate, not crazy, 44% fly ball rate, no infield fly balls. So a lot of 44% fly ball rate with a 50% hard contact rate. That is what we probably would categorize as a little bit more of a lucky results game. And then what was the BABIP for that game? 278. So the BABIP was actually fine, but dominate, kind of a strong word there, buddy. He also had, how many walks did he have in this game? It says he had a 3.86 walk per 9. So what is that? Did he have just 2 walks? He had 3 walks. So 3 walks, that hard contact, less than a strikeout per inning. Dominate is a strong word. Just saying. You base everything off of FIPS and xFIP and all your other stats. Results matter. Brah! That's the point. xFIP, BABIP, Sierra, hard contact, line drive rates, launch angle. That's predictive stats. That's what we're doing when we play DFS. We're trying to predict what will happen. If you get caught up in the results, you ignore what happened. When Tyler Gilbert throws a no-hitter, but he has 3 strikeouts through 8 innings, he's getting lucky. His defense is there. When you put the ball in play, the batting average on ball in play, league average is what, 300? So when your batting average on balls in play is 0, and you have 20 balls in play, you're lucky that none of them are finding holes. You can't be results oriented in baseball. You have to be above that. Like, you might as well be playing ERA at this point, and wins and losses, bro. Like, you have to use advanced analytics to go forward, right? Like, those are literally predictive measures that are created and used by the sharpest of sharps, bro. Like, okay, all right, we're good. We're good. Good. All right. What up, Lorenzo? What up, Dan T? Gotta smash that. Yeah. Hit that like button, man. Show me some love. I haven't yelled like that since, like, I had to do pods with Raj. I love Sean, though. Shout out to Sean. He's here almost every stream. Giving me the views, the interaction, stirring the chat. You gotta have a little pushback. But we have the beautiful things at our disposal that will help us predict what's gonna happen. Right? You flip a coin 10 times. Just because you get tails 8 out of 10 doesn't mean going forward there's an 80% chance that you're gonna hit tails, right? Right? You get what I'm saying? Watch Tyler Gilbert last 2 innings, total dominance. God dang it. God freaking dang it. All right, let's move on to the next game. You got me on the soapbox. Guys, where are we at? What are we doing? Where are we at? We're at 40, about 40 viewers, man. If you guys show me some love, hit that thumbs up. Would appreciate it. Would be nice to get 40 plus thumbs up, man. Our thumbs up to thumbs down ratio pretty solid on this channel, and you guys are the best for that. But let's move on. Mets hosting the Giants. Alex Wood taking on Carlos Carrasco. We do have a confirmed Mets lineup, so let's get that set up. Let's get the hat set up. How's my hair? Guys, my makeup, we're good. Brandon Nimmo is leading off. Francisco Lindor back in the loo. Yesterday, we kind of foreshadowed a potential lineup construction problem that the Mets might have now. Well, not the Mets, but that we might have if we're stacking the Mets. So let's double check on that. The question was, or yesterday, both Javi Baez and Lindor were both shortstop only yesterday, and then Lindor ended up not playing. Did DraftKings get ahead of that and perhaps fix this problem before it became a problem? They did not. Oh my God, the Mets have 3 shortstop only players. What? Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Jonathan VR, Francisco Lindor, and Javi Baez all in the lineup today. Shortstop only. You can't roster the pitcher as a hitter. So if you wanted to stack the Mets, wow. This is basically tears at this point. So you can't, right? Like, how do you justify... ridiculous. So if you wanted to stack some Mets here, you're basically, I guess... taking Alonso, Nimmo, Dom Smith, maybe Kevin Pillar against a lefty, and then good luck figuring out which shortstop is the best shortstop of the bunch here. Lindor coming off of a injury stretch here. Javi Baez, if you against lefties, that's where he's most valuable. So I don't know, man. I don't know what DraftKings is doing to us, but man, that's crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 shortstop only players in a lineup that really smacked us for stacking purposes. Lindor against lefties since the beginning of last year, 145 ISO. Javi Baez 279, and Jonathan VR 145. So obviously it feels like VR would be the odd man out if you start F Mary killing these 3. You probably kill VR, and then you probably I don't know. You probably marry Lindor because he's a switchy. He'd probably take care of you financially. But emotionally, I feel like Javi Baez a little bit more there for you, right? He gets it. He understands. So, in the starting matchup, I think I like Javi Baez a little bit more. But Lindor, if you wanted to maybe bank on the 9 innings of at-bats. Alex Wood on the road, 3.79 xFIP, 274 average allowed, and a 25% K rate. It's definitely not a gas can, and the Mets offense has definitely been struggling. A 4.1 implied run total for the Mets. The Giants, 4.5, so Giants are favored to win this one. Carlos Carrasco, Cookie on the bump, 3.78 xFIP to lefties, 3.94 xFIP to righties, a 25% K rate to righties. .375 average to righty so far. Again, just 16 innings of sample size. And he did have that big blow-up game, but the Giants have been really, really good, right? Arguably the best team in baseball. So could we get behind some of these Giants bats? I think it's very, very viable. Couple stronger games for his sake, but 2 negative games in his last 3. But he's surrounded it with a couple of games that he dipped into the teens. I don't think there's any reason for me personally to get behind playing Carrasco here. So I'd be more so trying to sift out who do we play from the Mets side, from the Giants side, and I don't know. I guess Brandon Belt kind of sticks out to me if he's going to be batting top 2 in the lineup. Chris Bryant's at least intriguing. I think I could get behind a Giant stack, right? Just because we've seen the blow-up potential be so prevalent for Carrasco lately that the Giants, I think, are cumulatively, I don't say underpriced, but valued with just one hitter being over 5K. So I can get behind the Giants stack. I just need to know what that lineup is. And then Alex Wood at 8,700. Chat, what are you guys doing? I saw some of you guys say that Alex Wood is on your radar. I think one of you guys even said that he would give you the warm and fuzzies, right? 20 plus DKP last 2 starts. The Oakland game means more to me than the Rockies game. Getting 9 strikeouts against that team is very easier said than done. So I'm kind of in on the thought of Alex Wood. But 8,700, does he become a priority? Probably not, but I think he's in the player pool for me. He strikes out righties at a higher clip than lefties as well. And just Brandon Nimmo, Dom Smith, and Mazaika, is that how you say it, are the lefties in this lineup. So I can get behind a little bit of Alex Wood exposure, probably. No Carrasco, a little bit of Giants stacks. And I feel like I can't stack the Mets if I want to, right? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? So maybe on FanDuel, the Mets stack's a little bit more viable. So if you wanted to get behind them on FanDuel, go for it. But I'm probably leaning more towards letting the one-offs fall where they might, and then give me a couple of Giant stacks in a buck 50. You know. Let's move on to the next game. We got 3 games left on the docket. Yeah, let's talk about this game. This game might have some weird lineups because they played 16 innings yesterday. Think about that. They played over 2 doubleheaders games yesterday. It was a wild one. Dodgers, Max Scherzer taking on Padres, Yu Darvish. 4 is your implied run total for the Dodgers. The Padres just 3.5. This is very similar to what we saw yesterday run total wise with Walker Buehler up against Blake Snell, and it was a pitcher's duel. And then it wasn't. It got into extras. I guess you could say it still was, but it got into the extras, and then they hit like the over in the 16th inning. AJ Pollock hit a late bomb. Fernando Tatis hit a fly ball that hit the glove of, was it Grisham or Chris Taylor, and jumped the fence. So it wasn't quite the Jose Canseco homer, but it wasn't like it cleared the wall. And it was a really weird game, one that it just was really fun to watch. So some of you guys that maybe stayed up late to check it out, hopefully you enjoyed it. Today, Max Scherzer, Yu Darvish, curtain call here. We saw a scenario yesterday where the Padres straight up ran out of bench players, and Dave Roberts was just intentionally walking everyone to put pitchers at the plate. I think you can make I'm going to say lazy, but you can make the lazy analysis that, hey, they went 16 innings yesterday. You're going to want Max Scherzer to pick up 7 innings here. Same with Yu Darvish. And I don't disagree. And I think Max Scherzer's absolutely somebody that I'm going after today. But we've seen him struggle against the Padres. And heck, was it his last start against the Padres? He allowed that grand slam to the pitcher. So hopefully, maybe he's looking for revenge. Yeah, 3.2 innings on July 8th, 3.5 fantasy points. Hasn't really blown you out the water with like a 30 DKP point performance or anything like that. But we know it's in him. And then in the context of the competition on the slate in terms of upside pitchers, like there's not many people with the upside of Scherzer today. So I'm in on Scherzer. I'm kind of curious to see where you guys are or where the field ends up at. Is Scherzer the highest owned pitcher on the slate? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. That's just a legitimate question. And do you guys feel like you're more likely to hit some of these 7K guys that make sense in and of themselves, or are you just full sending it with Scherzer versus Darvish? Because I wasn't like running to click on Blake Snell's name yesterday, but he was able to get through a really strong game against the Dodgers, and then Walker Buehler was doing his thing. Fernando Tatis, if Chris Taylor makes that catch yesterday, Tatis is 0 for 7. So it's not like his bat is like on fire. He's 6,500. It's one of those spots where people aren't going to be stacking Padres. So why be too scared with playing Max? I don't know. I think right now I'm leaning towards Max as my highest owned pitcher, just thinking of obscure potential ownerships in my mind. But I'm kind of curious to see where you guys are at. I know you guys have already done a little bit of research. Pollock and Seager had homers robbed. Yeah, it got crazy. It was really, really fun. Max gives up too many bombs, and the Padres have power. If he's the highest owned pitcher, I'm going underweight and taking my chances. I mean, theoretically, that's the right move on just about any slate, right? The highest owned pitcher, you probably go the other way. Too many bombs, I feel like, is a little unfair. I feel like historically, yeah, Max has been the homer dude. But, I mean, a 164 homer per 9 this season to righties, a 108 to lefties. I feel like he makes up for it with incredible strikeout rates, over 30% to both sides. So maybe this year that statement's a little bit unfair. But I as far as the fade him if he's the highest owned, like that approach in baseball makes plenty of sense. I'm probably going to buy the narrative that they need Max to go 7 innings here. They need him to be ticked off and get a win here, and stay on pace with the Giants. And then the more they win, the more they push the Padres out of the playoff picture. So this is definitely a team that has been playing them tough. You really don't want to take any chances and see them in that wild card game. But I think the Reds are not going to allow that to happen either. Him and Sale, or maybe some Keller, mix it up with the bats. What up, James? Going underweight on Max by maybe 5-10%. So I haven't looked at ownership projections. If we had to pull an obscure number on this slate, would 35% be fair, right? If we expected the field to be at 35% Max Scherzer, I think that's a number that I could start making decisions on. And I feel like I'm more inclined to match that than anything else, but maybe we'll move on. What about you, Darvish? What are we doing with you? 9,900 for Darvish. I definitely feel like I'm more inclined to pick on Darvish than I'm to pick on Max. And Darvish is just coming off an IL stint. Hasn't pitched since the 12th. In that game, he went 2.2 innings, 74 pitches. So did he get a rehab start in between? If so, how did he do? If he did, game log. Or was it just a straight up, you Darvish, enjoy a couple weeks off? So he pitched on August 12th. Or no, that was the game. So he didn't have a rehab start. So he just went on the IL for a couple weeks. So he hasn't pitched since the 12th. So that's about 2 weeks. In that game, he went 74. So I don't want to over speculate and say he has a short leash, but he's a guy that's barely hitting 100 pitches as it is. Tougher matchup. Is 9,900 you Darvish? Is that fade? Is that a fade? You guys getting there? I know Blake Snell did his thing yesterday, but I'm kind of willing to stay away. He's averaging 32 DKP in 3 games against the Dodgers, so maybe it's not a fade. I'm on the fence here. 99 pitches against the Dodgers. Is Mookie Betts might be back in the lineup today? Might be. He was in the dugout yesterday. They said they would be activating him soon. So this could be anything from the Death Dodgers lineup or the Sunday special lineup after playing 16 innings yesterday. Nate says I'm overweight on Darvish. He's 5-10%. You had me at 5-10%. Okay, I think that's fair. Maybe I'm light on his history against the Dodgers. I definitely don't want to be the the PVB guy against this Dodgers lineup, because this is like an insane lineup. But man, is his history against the Dodgers kind of stunning to me. I tell you what, if I didn't look at history, my knee-jerk reaction would be I can do without. But I guess there's no reason not to diversify a little bit to get to. I feel like I could slap a ceiling at 10% on him and accept the results. Now the reverse question here is, are you guys stacking either team? Because that 4 implied runs for the Dodgers, 3.5 for the Padres. I think we both we can all see a range of outcomes where the teams are too talented offensively to always be held down, and run totals are definitely subject to change. We've seen some teams with 3 run totals in the last couple days. The Royals, I think, against the Astros on back-to-back days, superseded their 3.5 run total. Like the Dodgers against Yu Darvish, I feel like if I'm getting up to 10% Darvish, I might just wash it with 10% Dodger stacks. Maybe? Is that a little too lazy and scumbaggy? I feel like that's the reason we play 150. But this Dodgers lineup, I've always said, it projects way too talented to not ever stack on any slate. So I'm probably there on the Dodger stack, and I probably don't have to get too aggressive with the equity of my lineups, right? Could I be over the field at 6%? I think that's possible, but I'd be fine with 8%. So maybe I just match Darvish exposure with Dodgers exposure. I don't feel as inclined to do that with the Padres though. Tatis is 6,500 against Max, man. That's up there. Manny's 52. The rest of the lineup is cheaper, but I don't know. It feels like Max is more likely to not get smacked here than Darvish, but I could be reading that way wrong. Kikuchi 7,800 on DraftKings seems like a good value. Yeah, we'll get to that game in a minute. Dodgers only batting 145 against you, worth a shot. BVP, Dodgers were held down for me last night, needed 30 innings. Man, Dodgers definitely were slow rolling it, man. Darvish at home, I like it. Hopefully we get a weekend Dodgers lineup after weekend. Okay, I see what you did. You. Dodgers lineup after lock. Phil doesn't adjust. Maybe. Like it could be a watered down lineup that has like Albert Pujols, but it could also be Mookie Betts is back. Let's roll. The Dodgers bench was definitely way deeper than the Padres bench yesterday. I think what you would probably expect. I think Will Smith caught like basically 16 innings. So I'd kind of be surprised if Will Smith started. So it would probably be Barnes. That would be my guess, is that you get him off of his feet. So maybe that you expect a downgrade from Will Smith to Barnes. I guess the caveat here is does Albert Pujols make the lineup or not? So we'll see. I don't want to over speculate and guess at this stage, right? All right, let's move on to the next game, man. We've done a little bit of game theory here. We do got 2 games left on the docket. Let's plug some stuff here. Chat, rundfs.com, man. Those seasonal packages, those end-of-year packages, all that stuff is up right now. I thought about getting a little crazy today with a flash sale, so maybe we'll get that going. But it's also our final week of 40% up to 40% off pricing. The week pass is at 20, month pass is at 60. September 1 with football back, that goes back to normal pricing, where the prices haven't gone up in 4 or 5 years. They're not going up now, they're just going back to normal. I tend to soften it during the dog days of baseball when my work is a lot less intense, right? When football comes, and especially when basketball comes, I don't get time to think. So if you guys want to hang out with me every day in that rundfs.com VIP Discord, if you guys want access to my spreadsheets, you know I'm putting in the work. You guys can do so by getting a premium subscription at rundfs.com. And I cannot stress this enough. There is a portion of loyal VIP subscribers that don't get in the Discord. And I feel like the Discord is arguably the most valuable part of the subscription. You get some really like-minded DFS grinders. You get that everyone tag when people get scratched. You get the pre-locked voice chats. I am in the voice chats chilling with you guys. It's a process every day. So I invite you guys to come check it out. And like I said, it's a community as well. It's very it feels like family, and we've got people at every different bankroll level. So I don't care if you've been playing for 2 weeks, 2 years, 10 years. We've got guys in here that have won multiple milli makers, guys that have hit the 100Ks. Yesterday, remember Celia, she literally took down the mini max, and I feel like that's the second time she's done it in a week. Fish Fan's always up there. I feel like he hit second in the mini max in the last week. So like, no matter what you're doing, balling on a budget or you're making it rain, you're welcome, man. There's no egos here, and we like to have fun. So come be part of the community, man. Make some friends, and then stick around for football and basketball, because that's where it's at. So go to rundfs.com, make yourself an account, get signed up, and we might have some more perks coming your way. Got a couple of conversations going about that. Let's move on to the next game. Yankees at the Athletics. 4-game stretch here for the Yankees. They've had 2 days off in their last 4 days. And in the middle, they took time to sweep the Braves. Shout out to Braves fans. James Caprillion taking on Jameson Taillon. 7,800 for Taillon, Caprillion 7,400. 69 degrees out there in Oakland. The Yankees have a 4.4 implied run total. The Athletics at a 4.2. This park is unlike many parks that the Yankees play in. They definitely have had ominous trips out in Oakland, out to the West Coast. So I'm not expecting a shootout, a barn burner by any stretch. And we've seen Caprillion be pretty effective historically against the Yankees. I can remember a couple games where he's really smacked us. But this is a different Yankees team, and I don't mean that just straight up physically, but also just spiritually. They're playing with a different attitude. But the reason I think that Caprillion was able to go out there and carve up the Yankees last time is because the Yankees were really righty heavy, and since then they've broken up the monotony here, and you've got Rizzo, you got Gallo, you got Brett Gardner, Andrew Velazquez. So maybe it's not as easy. What we're looking for today is Giovanni Urshela activated from the IL. Does he start over Rougned Odor? Personally, I feel like this is more of an Odor spot, but it's been a while since Gio's been out there, and he's definitely worth having defensively. So I am looking for that personally, and if Gio did play over Odor, it would just add an extra righty to the lineup to tap into Caprillion splits here. He looks like a big boy Mitch Keller, right? If you go back to the Mitch Keller splits up top, a 15% carry to lefties, 26% to righties. Caprillion's got something like that going on where he's carving up righties at a high clip, but lefties not so much. So it definitely means something to me for the Yankees to put out a really balanced lineup and pay attention to these splits. Just a 179 average allowed to righty and a 0.96 home run per 9 to righty. So if the Yankees came out righty heavy, you could justify playing Caprillion at 7,400, and Oakland will also probably swallow some fly balls. So I don't hate the thought behind playing him, but I would also asterisk that and say, what is that Yankees lineup? And we may not have that for quite some time here. One of the later Yankee locks. Taillon, 7,800. He's been rock solid as a real pitcher for the Yankees. I don't know that necessarily always equates to a strong fantasy pitcher. 7,800. Again, I think you need the 20 pluses in DFS on a slate like this, really just about any slate. And that's not something that's a given day to day. And even when he is getting 20, there's only been 1 or 2 games in the last 10 where he's really spiked to near 30. That's against the Baltimore Orioles, part of their losing stretch, and then at Seattle. So I'm not that enamored with Taillon here. I do think the Oakland generally projects more of a contact team. Not a ton of high strikeout rates here, just Matt Chapman in the middle at well over 20%. So I'm probably okay with chilling on Taillon. Right? I don't think I need to make that a priority, so I probably don't. I do think he can maybe steal his way or ground ball his way or soft contact his way into a solid game here. But I think it's more of a can you eat some innings for us, kid? I'm not expecting a strikeout per inning. So I'm probably chilling on Taillon. Maybe I'm a self-hating Yankees fan here. Bomb detector-wise, Joey Gallo. Are you saying Joey Gallo or Joey Callo? 4.18 rating on the bomb detector for Gallo. Caprillion does allow some power to lefties, a 1.5 home run per 9 and a 13% walk rate. Gallo will draw walks and he'll hit for power, and even Oakland Coliseum might have a problem keeping Joey in the park because no one man should have all that power. So I don't mind Gallo as my favorite one-off from the Yankee side here, but this is definitely a game I could see not putting up a ton of runs here. Athletic side, Starling Marte batting second here. He's 5,400 on DK. He's been running at will, and I do think he'll try and test Gary Sanchez if he has the opportunity. And Marte is just a different level, right? I don't even really care about gun down rates for catchers at this point. If he gets on, you know he's gonna go 2-1-1. Like, you look at his last 10 games, he's got more games with stolen bases than without. He has got his Ricky Henderson vibes on, so he would stand out as somebody as a potential high floor late night hammer candidate. And then Taillon has allowed some power to lefties. I wonder if that's more Yankee Stadium induced than anything else. There's a quick way to find out. Jameson Taillon, Fangraphs card. We click his name, we go to splits, and yeah. Caprillion has huge home splits gun. I don't care what whole season lefty splits are. The guy is dominant in this park for the most part. Yeah, I mean the park is huge, literally huge. So yeah, pitchers tend to do better in Oakland. What were we looking at? We're looking at away versus lefties. Was that what I was looking for Taillon? Yeah, let's look at away versus lefties and see what his power allowed is. Away versus lefties. 0.7. So yeah, it's been more of a Yankee Stadium problem when it comes to the long ball. He has allowed a 1.59 home run per 9 away versus righties. And then you mentioned Caprillion. We don't really need to look this up, but we might as well since we're here. 316. Give me a hell yeah. It's 316 in the middle side of the country. So we want home versus lefties and righties for power, I guess. 127 home run per 9 to lefties. A little bit higher on the road, but yeah, that's just natural. That's physics, bro. You can't argue with science. Caprillion. I think Caprillion is fine. I think you can play him. So 7,400. I think he's in the player pool, but I really want to see this Yankees lineup. If we put our ear to the ground and we're hearing ownership percentages, and a lot of people are sounding like me, where it's like, yeah, Yankees are going against a strikeout guy. It's a pitcher's park. We don't need to stack them. If I can get the Yankees stack low owned, you already know I'm gonna do it, and hope for the best. And one of the things that I should maybe point out about the Yankees is they're stealing bases at a high clip. So if they get on, even if you suppress their power in this park, don't be surprised when you look up and Aaron Judge is stealing bags. You know what I'm saying? Velasquez is running at will. They have a new mindset, right? So I'm with that. We got one game left on the docket. We did all the plugs, so I guess we'll do another PrizePicks plug. If you guys haven't tried PrizePicks and you want to try it today, they redid everything. They rebranded to maybe more modernized their logo. It looks a little bit slicker. Those of you that love the dark mode, they got dark mode now. So if that is your tiebreaker, like I said yesterday, you're like, Gun, I want to try PrizePicks, but I'm gonna be real with you. I prefer a black and gray scheme and a little bit slicker logo. And I'd be like, all right, I understand. Well, what's your excuse today, bro? They did that. So go to PrizePicks.com, get signed up. Use code GUNDACKER, because when you do that, once a month, they show me some love. And when they show me some love, that helps me pay the bills. And when we pay the bills, that helps me keep doing these daily streams, and we get to hang out and be friends. So if you want to continue to be friends and you're not on PrizePicks, show me some love. Use my code when you sign up. They are offering an instant initial deposit match up to $100. No slow drip. That stuff is instant, bro. So you get signed up, throw a $20 bill, throw a $30, $40, $50. A lot of you guys are just straight up taking the max, throwing $100 on it. They make that $200, and now you got a bankroll to go out there and grind those $5, $10 cards and see what happens. They allow you, for baseball purposes, to bet against the projection of players, both hitters, pitchers, and their fantasy points parodies that of Fanduel's. They also allow you to bet against player props. I usually stay away from like the total bases and the hits and RBIs, blah, blah, blah. I like to bet for hitters. I like to bet the fantasy projection. For pitchers, I do look at the strikeout props and the fantasy score. But be advised, it's not just baseball. They're going to have numbers and projections for football. They have CSGO, WNBA, college football's back. They have something for everybody. And I'm seeing screenshots every night of the most random parlay tickets, man. Like this guy from a cricket match, this guy from a CSGO match, this guy from NASCAR. It's crazy. If you find the softest number from every sport, which you can do, they also have NFL futures. So go check them out, prizepicks.com. Use code GUNDACKER. And let's move on to the final game. Actually, let's get caught up on chat. We got a minute. Chat to... All right, Austin. What up, Baldy and the Oaf? The show went by too fast. Yeah, I zoomed it. So definitely, I'm not in a rush to get out of here. I don't have to be in the VIP voice chat for 40 minutes. I do try to get off the air before Osmo goes on the air as a professional courtesy. By the way, if you missed it, tomorrow my schedule got flipped. So I'll be on the Osmo live before lock, which might cancel this stream tomorrow. I don't know. You guys let me know. If you guys want me to pull double duty, I might. But from an analyst standpoint, I don't want to repeat everything. You know what I'm saying? Prize Picks rakes me through the coals. I think with Prize Picks, the mistake everyone makes, and I'm not saying you, but 2x or 1.5x, it doesn't feel that exciting when you put 4 on a card and you hit 10x, and all of a sudden you can turn $100 out of 10. Like, a lot of people are going for the gold. Play with the flex plays. Play with the 2-pick parlays, stuff like that. Try to find, a couple anchor plays, I call them. Those are your locks, and then you build around that, but you rotate it so you're not too stuck on the same projections they hit. If you have 2 picks that you think are stone cold locks, grab a 3rd pick, make 2 cards. On that 3rd pick, you bet the over and the under. Like there's ways that you can maybe mathematically raise your floor and your EV, But yeah, I would definitely recommend not getting too crazy, right? The guy filling out parlay tickets at the casino, he's the biggest sucker in the lobby, right? Quinn says Tyone 28 fantasy points, maybe an over. I don't think I would bet that. Like I said, the fantasy points for pitchers on Prize Picks parodies the scoring for FanDuel. So a big chunk of that is win and quality start. And I would be kind of surprised if James and Tyon went 6 innings today, just because the bullpen has been rested and Tyon's could labor through this one. And this lineup may not be that strikeout prone as it is, right? So maybe he pitches the contact and he does eat 6 innings, but that seems like one that I would least like to raise the floor with some strikeout propensity. And he doesn't really have a massive strikeout lineup, and he's not really a massive strikeout guy. 23.5% on the season, and this lineup itself is like 20 to 23%. So I'm on the fence about that one. How you always winning, bro? Do I need to buy a Run DFS membership? Information is information. When you put it into practice, what's more important is really how you play. Like, I don't know. For baseball, I definitely recommend being a multi-lineup guy, and that's how you kind of raise the floor, and then you win by the failure rate. Is I don't know how else to put that, right? You're sharp cats. There are guys out there that are really, really winning in baseball consistently. Like I said earlier, they're not breaking down the game. They're really just looking at projections and ownerships, and then they're leveraging the ownerships. And because of the failure rates, long term, that's what's gonna win. So it's a very stressful day-to-day sport if you're not coming into it with that approach. So no membership at any site is going to guarantee you to become an instant winner. So I don't want to sell any snake oil, right? If you buy a Run DFS membership, you're going to get really good information, and I'm going to be really transparent with what I'm doing. I always share my player pool, my pitching tiers, all that stuff. That's from yesterday. But you still have to put a good lineup construction, good contest selection into practice. So don't sign up and think that you're going to be an instant winner on any site, not just mine. Forgot to ask this, but if Shaw plays, thoughts on him versus the Twins against John Gant? Yeah, Gant's a contact pitcher. Shaw definitely would be. It feels like they've been more receptive to using Travis Shaw lately than Bobby Dalbec. I don't know if there's like a turn of the tides there, but look out for that, right? Long-term games. Yeah, I would say like if you have a couple hundred to set aside as a bankroll, put a plan to action with that bankroll, right? Don't force yourself to play every day if you don't want to. You could be subjective to slates if you like pitching. For me personally, if there's a slate where I don't like pitching, there's only like 2 guys I will play, that is more of a Fanduel night for me, right? If I only have to make one pitcher. And then nights like tonight where I think there's several viable options at the pitching spot, I'll go play DraftKings a lot more. I'm also kind of lazy when it comes to scripting. I like the 5-man stack. Just throw a blanket over it and see what happens. And DraftKings lets me do that. So anyway, main event tonight. Let's stop with this game and then we'll shoot the breeze a little bit more. Royals at the Mariners. We do have a Royals lineup. Whit Merrifield, Nicky Lopez batting second. Salvador Perez batting third. Hunter Dozier batting cleanup. Andrew Benintendi, Michael A. Taylor, Hanser Alberto, Ryan O'Hearn, and Emmanuel Rivera. That is your Royals lineup. We do not have a confirmed Mariners lineup yet, but shout out to the Royals for being the last game on the slate. Already having a lineup presented. Brad Keller versus you say Kikuchi, I say Kakachi. That's just how I say it, bro. I don't. 3.6 is your run total for the Royals. Is there a team that gets more under 4 run totals than the totals? I like totals than the Royals. I don't know. Mariners a 4.5 run total. Brad Keller on the road this year, 4.74 xFIP, 308 average allowed, 12.2% walk rate. None of this is good or what you want. Ask Joe Girardi. So if you want to pick on that, I think you could, but I don't think you get too invested in the Mariners as is. But picking on these numbers for Brad Keller, I guess maybe we'll chop that up, right? How's his Kaufman numbers versus his road numbers? So let's pull up Brad Keller, not Mitch Keller. Don't play the wrong Keller today, people. I say that as a joke, but I also think Mitch Keller is somewhat viable if that Cardinals lineup came out righty heavy. So away. Homer per 9, 191 against righties on the road, and at home it's 0.31. Is the batted ball really that significantly different? So home versus righties, 31% fly ball rate. It's the same fly ball rate, just the home run to fly ball rate went from 3% to 20%. So the batted ball data is pretty much the same. So that looks like it could be more luck or more of Kauffman Stadium than anything. Yeah, pull rate, maybe the pull. I don't know. So I guess that sounds like a Kauffman thing. 10% infield fly ball rate. All right. So if we wanted to stack against Brad Keller, the bats that stand out, I guess in that case is going to be Mitch Haninger and Ty France. Ty France has really turned it on lately. He's batting 292 against righties since the beginning of last year, and has really flexed some muscles in the last month or so. I feel like every time I look up, thank you, France has a bomb. 3 homers in his last 5. 4 homers in his last 7 games. Yeah, he's on a little bit of a power surge. I think he's got 5 in his last 10. So maybe Ty France is a sneaky late night hammer candidate. Mitch Haninger also in the mix for me as well. Brad Keller also allows an elevated average to lefties, 297 average allowed to lefties. So if J.P. Crawford gets on, Kyle Seager, maybe Abraham Toro, those guys could fit the bill. Not going to get too excited to invest in Mariners bats. You say Kikuchi. Somebody had asked if he was a sneaky pitcher today. I could see it. 27% K rate essentially at home this season, 3.63 xFIP. Swinging strike rate at 12.5%. Has had a couple of games lately where you feel for him, like the Astros game. Went out there and got smacked, but the Astros are the Astros, right? Astros are the lowest K team in the league, and they could hit lefties. The Kansas City Royals, you might get a little bit more positive results out of 100 times. Has he pitched against the Royals? He has not. But his last 10 games for Kikuchi, really, you look at this schedule, I mean, goodness gracious. At Houston, Toronto, the Yankees, at Tampa, Houston, Oakland, the Angels, where he should have done better against the Angels. But my goodness, this guy he hasn't had a game off. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't know if July 17th, I'd imagine Trout was still out, but I don't know. I guess the Angels lineup today is really bad, where you can't accept 5. But has there been a pitcher with a tougher strength of schedule than Kikuchi? Houston, a bunch of Yankees, a bunch of AL East. I feel for the guy. So maybe the Royals is a welcome night off and a softer landing spot. He's averaging 17 fantasy points per game in his home T-Mobile Park, and maybe he taps into this lane of we got 21.5% K rate for Salvi, 27, 22, 34, 35. Yeah, maybe at 7,400 he gets there. I'm looking for 20 plus. If I'm looking to avoid a bat, it is Salvador Perez. He's got a 4.22 rating on the bomb detector, a 14.8% barrel rate when he puts the ball in play. So if he's not striking out Salvi, I'd be kind of gritting my teeth and hoping that the ball stays in the park. But for the most part, I could understand the case for Kikuchi here. Easily, I don't want to say easily, but other than their Angels, this looks like his best matchup of the season, just from a bird's eye view, right? So, yeah, maybe I get to a little bit of Kikuchi, 7,300. I probably wouldn't want to be more than 10% there, but I'd be there. No Brad Keller for me, and that is our slate. So, chat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to update lineups that did come out while we were chopping it up. If you guys are out of here, I appreciate you spending some time before you left. If you would hit that thumbs up and double check to see if you're a subscriber, trying to get to 5,300. But I'll be around for another 10 minutes or so, updating lineups and talking some stuff. So if you guys had some ideas, some plays, or anything you want me to revisit, drop it in chat. But let's go get some lineups updated. And then, of course, if you guys are on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker, hit me with that young follow here. Also, I got 5 spots left in this $100 12-man league. So if you guys are looking to play some season-long football, we'll be doing a draft Monday night after baseball locks, and I'll probably live stream. I have 2 drafts that night. I'll probably live stream them on this channel. So if you want to play around, have some fun, have a little bit of I don't know, weekly trash talk as we do the daily streams, hit me up. Send me a DM on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker. First pay, first serve, PayPal. $100 gets you in there. All the details are in my pinned tweet. Definitely trying to fill that. It would be nice to fill that tonight so we don't have to worry about pushing that anymore. But anyway, let's go get some lineups updated, and then let's see if we have any curveballs or any swerves or anything like that. Cardinals lineup did come out, and we were looking for a righty-heavy lineup. We got Tommy Edman, Goldschmidt, Dylan Carlson, Nolan Arenado, Yadi Molina, who re-signed for another year and announced that next year it's it. He's retiring at the end of next season. Lars Nootbaar, there's another lefty to hit. So now we have 3 lefties. Edmundo Sosa in the lineup. Harrison Bader. So it kind of feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But the strikeout rates did dip overall, right? I know Mitch Keller does have a strong strikeout rate to righties, but a lot of these righties don't strike out a ton. Arenado, Yadi Molina, and Sosa, all sub 19% K rates, sub 15 on Molina and Arenado. So they're definitely not free strikeouts by any stretch. And then you put 3 lefties in the lineup, and Mitch Keller has only a 15% K rate to lefty. So I'm a little less excited about the viability of 6,200 Mitch Keller. I wouldn't talk you down if you're still there. You're just looking for 10, 15, but I'm probably walking that one a little bit backwards. And yeah, let's move on to the next game. Phillies lineup did come out. We got Odubel Herrera, Gene Segura, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Didi Gregorius is batting 5th. Didi Gregorius, Brad Miller is a lefty. Ronald Torreyes is batting 7th. And then Travis Jankowski. So, looks like against Zach Gallen, they loaded up on lefties. Zach Gallen definitely strikes out lefties a little less, but his xFIP is lower as well. And he keeps the ball in the park and on the ground. A 50% ground ball rate to right. It's 2 lefties. A guy like Jankowski does have the speed to run out a ground ball, making an infield single. But, Yeah, I guess there's not much to be scared of here other than Harper in terms of this batted ball data to lefties. So I guess basically all they did was take out Rhys Hoskins. But that's a big miss. Big lane here of 180 plus ISOs. Harper through Miller. I probably still get to some Philly stacks. Yeah, I'm probably still doing Philly stacks. But their run total went down. We were at 5 when we were talking about it earlier. Now they're at 4.8. So I don't know if that's reactive or what. I don't think the game total has really moved. Let's move on to the next game. Nats. Did we get a Nats lineup? We did. Victor Robles, Alcides Escobar, Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Yadiel Hernandez, Carter Kieboom, Luis Garcia, and Tres Barrera. So literally as projected. So that's not going to change any thoughts or anything about that. No Red Sox lineup yet. Rangers lineup did come out. Laurel Hernandez, not Yanni, is not leading off. Isaiah Kiner Falefer is Kiner leading off. Whoa, hold up. I took a pill in Ibanez. Andy Ibanez batting second. I know it's a joke, but it's also not a joke. At 2,200, I might get a little bit of Ibanez as a value plug for me. Adolis Garcia is batting third. DJ Peters is batting fifth. DJ Peters cleanup. Nate Lowe is fifth. Jesus, this lineup falls. Leody Taveras and Ryan Doro. I don't know who that is, but we got time to go find out who that is. I can't imagine Ryan Doro, a call-up 9-hole hitter, is a staggering prospect, but just to be sure, he is in the player pool. In the minors, he's a very Texas Ranger call-up. 251 batting average, 772 OPS, just a 333 OBP. I guess we want to focus on his lefty splits. So against lefties in the minors, he's batting 208. He's a guy that hits righties better, but I guess it's only 24 at bats, whatever. 2 bombs and 24 at bats against lefties. Slugging 500, 820 OPS. That's not enough sample size for those numbers to mean anything. But yeah, Rangers do look a little bit different. I don't mind some Ibanez in the middle of Falefa and Garcia for a little bit of value. Not a lock or anything like that, but I don't mind it. And then we have a Giants lineup. Lamont Wade Jr. Tommy La Stella is batting second, and he's a lefty. I just have a knack for typing R. Chris Bryant's batting third. Brandon Crawford's batting cleanup. Wilmer Flores, revenge game. Alex Dickerson, Mike Yastrzemski, Mike Wazowski, Kirk Caselli. So no Buster Posey in this lineup, and no Brandon Belt. So maybe Brandon Belt's going on bereavement. I know his grandmother passed away, but he didn't catch the lineup. So the lineup does probably take a tick down, right? No Belt, no Posey. Against Carrasco, I still think he's been volatile enough that I want some exposure against him. And the Giants stack is really, really affordable. So I probably still stick to my guns here. There's still some bats that are worth getting to. So yeah, I'm going to stay on some Giants bats here, but it wasn't a high priority stack anyway. But yeah, no Belt and no Posey. Definitely two of the more sought after bats for me. And that's it. That is our entire slate. Chat, you guys got anything else? It looks like 73% of you guys think that Max Scherzer is the better tournament play than Chris Sale. And I probably am on board on that. I think for me, the tiebreaker is 1 pitch count. I think Max could go 110. And 2, the matchup. The Twins actually threw a scrappy lineup. Not necessarily a massive hit for average lineup, but not a ton of strikeouts. A lot of contact guys. So you do like to have strikeouts as a ceiling raiser. And that's it, man. Chat, if you guys got anything else for me, twitter.com/Gundacker That's how, or excuse me, /Gundacker. That's how you guys can get in touch with me. DMs are open. Otherwise, I will be in the RunDFS.com VIP. Oh, Matt Moore starting. Hold up. Stop the music. Guys in the truck, stay live. Big news. Matt Moore starting over Zach Eflin. That changes everything. So let's put Matt Moore in the mix. Matt Moore definitely a worse pitcher than Zach Eflin. and the D-backs are definitely a better team against lefties. So I don't know if the D-backs will change it up, but what that does do for me is make Carson Kelly a significantly better play. You see his average and his power against lefties spikes. Ketel Marte also goes up. So right now, D-backs have a 3.8 implied run total. I would bet the over ASAP. I'm sure it's off the board by now, but I think they get over that against Matt Moore. So if you guys do have access to bet that real fast, go for it. Otherwise, yeah, Zach Eflin scratched. So I also want to see if the D-backs respond with a different lineup. I'm not going to sit here and wait for it, but be advised that is a potential outcome. I guess I'll do an everyone tag in the Discord. D-backs over 3.8. So yeah, that was huge. How do you feel about the Cardinals pitcher gun? What up, Earth to Air? What up, Instant Bracy? Cardinals pitcher Miles Michaelis. I think he could pay off that price tag because it is the Pirates and there are some significant strikeout rates. He's absolutely in the back end of my pitcher pool. I don't know if I could confidently tell you that he would be in 20 if I ran 20 lineups or less. I don't know if he's a fixture in that. But as a 150 lineup guy, he would get some equity as an SP2 for me. So, yeah. Anyway, Earth to Air, you got here at a little late. You're late. Chat tomorrow. I don't know if we're doing a stream tomorrow because we will be on Osmo before lock. But follow me on Twitter and I'll let you guys know for sure what we're doing. We might do double duty. We might not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. You guys want to chop it up with me? That's where you can find me. Twitter.com/Gundacker. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your day with a little bit of my day. And I hope you crush it tonight. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.